This is Ben Davidson. Subscribe to Stephen Icon.
Okay, so the Ring Magazine have released their new rankings, their new top 10, and it appears to have caused a little bit of a stir. So let's go through their new top 10. Of course, I'll point out the changes and, of course, give you my overall thoughts on their top 10. And if you are new to the channel, please make sure you are subscribed if you're a boxing fan. Who else does this? Nobody does, do they? Each and every month. Anyway, let's go through their new top 10. So Oleksandr Usyk is, of course, the Ring Magazine heavyweight world champion. Number 1 is Tyson Fury. Number 2, Anthony Joshua. Number 3, Zhilei Zhang. Number 4, Joseph Parker. Number 5, Filip Hrgović. Number 6, Frank Sanchez. Number 7, Jared Anderson. Number 8, Joe Joyce. Number 9, Deontay Wilder. And number 10, Usyk Kabayel. So that's their top 10, which of course closes out the year of 2023. Now, I've heard some people saying actually it's pretty good rankings. Now, I can't necessarily disagree with that. I mean, they're not as good as yours and mine, though, are they? The one that I released in the last video, so go check out that one, again, which we do each and every month between us. But their way of ranking seems a little bit squiff to me, because when you really look at it, listen, Joseph Parker, number 4, Deontay Wilder at number 9. You could say, well, fair dues, is a very good win for Parker. It was a lopsided victory for Joseph Parker. It really was. So Wilder's definitely deserved to be dropped, no doubt. But should Joe Parker be number 4 when you've got number 8, Joe Joyce, knocked him out? And I know some people say, well, that's a different Joseph Parker. If he fought now, maybe he'd beat Joe. Well, maybe, if buts, maybe, whatever. Okay, that's not the reality. The reality is they have fought and Joe Joyce knocked him out. That's the reality of it. We can only base it on what has happened, not what we feel might happen. I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm not saying that Parker wouldn't beat Joe Joyce in a rematch. I wouldn't know. But that's not the reality. So for me, that's an error in their rankings right there. It really is. You've got number 5, Filip Hrgović. 2 places behind Zhilei Zhang. Well, he beat Zhilei Zhang. Officially, he beat him. Doesn't really matter what I feel or what you feel about that particular fight as to who we thought really won the fight or however. Doesn't matter. Officially, he beat Zhilei Zhang. So he should be above him. Correct? Granted, a Zhilei Zhang victory over Joe Joyce is a better victory than what Filip Hrgović has. So, again, you could argue that way around. Number 6, Frank Sanchez. Well, his best win is FA Jagba. And it was quite some time ago. And his opposition has been going backwards. He's been fighting gatekeepers and journeymen ever since. He hasn't fought nobody. Junior Farr, behave. He got knocked out by Lucas Brown. That is too high for a Frank Sanchez. Number 7, Jared Anderson. This is a good prospect. I mean, could we still call him a prospect? I don't know. But his best win is Charles Martin, where he struggled with Charles Martin. So who's he beat that would say, okay, he should be in at number 7? I'm not saying that he or Frank Sanchez or anybody is not a top 10 fighter, but we need to see it. They need to prove it. And they haven't, in my opinion. I mean, you could look at fighters out there like Andy Ruiz Jr., former unified heavyweight world champion. Shouldn't he be in here? He's got a win over Luis Ortiz, which is why Wilder's ranked in here, let's be honest. And he's also got a win over Anthony Joshua. Okay, he lost to Anthony Joshua in a rematch, but he still has a win over him. So why is he not ranked there? Is that inactivity? If it is, okay, fair dues. Fair dues. You could look, say, Martin Bakole. Okay, Martin Bakole, his best win is Tony Yoka. That win at the time was brilliant, I felt, but that win seems to have aged like milk, doesn't it? Since then, Tony Yoka lost to Carlos Takam and lost to a Belgian guy. I forgot his actual name, but I know that he lost to Kevin Lorena. That's the guy who beat Tony Yoka. So Martin Bakole's win is aging like milk. So Martin Bakole needs to be fighting somebody here in his top 10. Personally, listen, if I'm Martin Bakole, I'm getting hold of the Saudis, Tyson Fury, pulling some strings, and I'm fighting somebody in his top 10 on the Fury-Usyk undercard. Doesn't matter which one it is in his top 10, but get that. Or if not, do a cheeky little number, as Martin Bakole is ranked number 2 in the WBA currently. It could well be number 1, because obviously Wilder was number 1, now he's lost, unless of course they leapfrog Anthony Joshua in there, which is possible. But if I'm Martin Bakole, if I'm Ben Shalom, if I'm Billy Nelson, I'm looking at that WBA regular world heavyweight title strap. It's an easy win over Manuel Char. That puts him right in the rankings. Get that strap off Manuel Char. That's what I'm doing if I'm Martin Bakole. If not, somebody in this top 10. A couple of names will stand out. Would he fight Joseph Parker? I don't know if Parker and Bakole would fight each other. Apparently they get on well. But you know what? Business is business. Why not? Number 6, Frank Sanchez. Why not? Let's see. Let's see if Frank Sanchez deserves his number 6. If he defeats Martin Bakole, he deserves number 6. Doesn't he? Let's see Martin Bakole versus Jared Anderson. What about Martin Bakole versus Usyk Cabiel? Cabiel, good win over Derek Chisora. What seems like forever in Monte Carlo. That's a long time ago. And of course his past weekend over Arslanbek Makhmudov. Makhmudov, in his defence, if we're allowed to defend fighters, it appears that nowadays we're not allowed to, but if we're allowed to, he broke his arm in 2 places in round number 2. But it happened during the fight, so again, we do have to give Usyk Cabiel credit. But what about Bakole versus Cabiel? Is there a reason why that fight can't happen? I mean, is Martin Bakole, is he turning down fights, or are they not putting in offers for other fighters? Are they putting in low ball offers, or what's happening? I don't know. Are these fighters just not interested in Bakole? I don't know. I really don't know. But you know what? There's quite a few fighters out there who, in my opinion, should be in this top 10, potentially should be at least anyway. You see, that's why I say that our rankings are so much better, aren't they? Because at least we actually have a formula. It's not based on feelings. This seems to be based on feelings. It seems to be based on the last 1 or 2 fights. I mean, Darren Dubois, why is he not here? Darren Dubois' win over Jarrell Miller is better than a Jared Anderson win over Charles Martin. Darren Dubois' win over Jarrell Miller is better than a Frank Sanchez's win over a Junior Farr, is it not? And better than an F.A. Jagba. So shouldn't Darren Dubois be in here? Okay, granted, he lost to Oleksandr Usyk and he lost to Joe Joyce, both of them by stoppage. You could argue he quit in both fights, so maybe that's going against him. Maybe he's still got a bit of a road back. Personally, I think Darren Dubois will end up fighting Manuel Char next. I think that's been manoeuvred. I think that's been manoeuvred for quite some time now. And I fully expect to see that fight next. But for me, Darren Dubois should potentially be in here. Because at least he's give it a go against a Joyce and a Usyk and that. A lot of fighters haven't. But anyway, listen, these are not great rankings. They're not. I understand why some people over like the last couple of hours been saying, actually, they're pretty good rankings. Listen, I understand, okay, because they're all recognisable names. But if you really dissect who it is that they're for, it's not great. It's not good rankings at all, really. It's okay, but there's a lot of flaws in it. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it all. You drop me yours. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you in the next video.